Good. All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. I was trying to make sure my screen is shared so that everybody can actually see what I'm teaching this morning. All right. So I want to welcome us to today's class. And for those who are joining us for the first time, you're welcome. Last week, we were able to look at the definition of a management information system. And we define management information system as an information system that is used for improving organizational goals and objectives, flow of information, data management, coordination, control, analysis, and visualization of what the organization wants. Now, use MIS, a system to actually coordinate all these things together so that organizations can be able to achieve their goal and objective. All right. So, in simple terms, we said it's a formal method of collecting timely information in a presentable form in order to facilitate effective decision making and implementation in order to carry out organization's goals and objective. All right. So any information system that is used to collect data, process the data, analyze data, and disseminate this data, okay, for in order to achieve the organization's goal and objective, that is management information system. And for MIS to be effective, top management has to make a decision of how to go about it. They looked at how management information system has evolved over time. We said it can be divided into 5 eras. The first era, that was when they were using the mainframe and mini computer. The second era, it evolved to personal computers. Then the third era, server networks started coming up. So you can actually distribute information to different network as long as you have a single server where these informations are being distributed from. And then the fourth era, we had the enterprise computing. And then the current one that we have now is the cloud computing. Like most of our phones have the cloud computing. You can actually store data in your information in the cloud system and then view it anytime. All right, so that's how management information system evolved over time. And then we looked at the types of management information system. We looked at them last week, but we didn't discuss them in detail. Now, as this class proceeds, okay, we're also going to be discussing them one after the other. All right, so we have the accounting management information system. Basically, is used to manage the accounts, the financial activities of the organization. So you use the accounting management information system to manage the finances of the organization, the inflow and the outflow. Then we have the financial management information system, how money is being spent in the organization. We have the manufacturing management information system, takes care of manufacturing from the raw materials, which is the input, to the transformation of these raw materials in order to give us the output, which is the product or the service. So the manufacturing management information system takes care of that. Then we have the marketing management information system, of course. After the transformation has taken place, the transformation of raw materials to produce the product or the service, this product or services needs to reach your customers. So we use marketing management information system to actually disseminate this information or these products or services to your customers. Okay, then we have the human resource management information system. Is an information system that is used to manage the human resources, that's the staff, the personnel of the organization, both those that are internal and those that are external. Then we have the structure of management information system. It is used to set up organizational structures. Okay, it's the same as the conceptual structure. Okay, so under the structure of management information system, we have the conceptual and we have the physical structure. Then executive information system, top management uses this to disseminate information between the executives of the organization. Then the decision support system, of course, that's where every decision made is being processed and then disseminated. So people can actually go to that particular support system and see what the top management has decided to do. And then we have the office automation system used to set up an office and how the office is going to run. The enterprise resource planning, how to get your resources, how to effectively utilize your resources, both the material and the financial. The school information management system is actually used for school administrators to manage, the educational system. And of course, local database. Every information system must have a database, okay, where information are being stored. So as we proceed, we're going to be discussing them in details, okay, later in the future. And we said the purpose of management information system, number one, for information processing. That's number one. MIS is actually used to process information within an organization. There must be an information flow within an organization from the top management to the bottom staff or bottom employees of an organization. Okay, so MIS plays a very big role in information processing. Then number two, we said it provides information on past, present, and project future, more or less like a benchmark. It is used to project, okay, what where the organization is and where they are planning to go to. Okay, so MIS is actually used to compare what we have done in the past, what we are doing right now, and what we intend to do in the future. What we have done in the past, what we are doing right now, and what we intend to do in the future. Where we were last year or in the time past, where we are now, and where we intend to be in the future. So MIS is actually used to provide this information. And remember, as you're doing this comparison of when what, okay, as far as the past, the present, and the future is concerned, all this must be analyzed in tandem with the objective, okay, of the organization. So management information system is used to provide such information, what we have done before, what we are doing right now, and what we want to do in the future, where we've been, where we are now, and where we are seeing ourselves in the nearest future. Okay, that's number two. Number three, MIS provides the right and correct information to the right people at the right time. When you have an MIS, dissemination of information makes it very, very easy. Okay, it is easy to disseminate information of what the organization, the management wants everybody to do. So because of the presence of MIS, you can get information as fast, as quick as possible. And this information is usually channeled to the right people at the right time. So the people who need that information gets it. Unlike before where when there's an information, everybody gets to see it because of the the mainframe computer system that we were using in the first era. But now that we have, you're able to channel it to the people who actually needs the information. And not just channeling to those who need information. The information gets to them at the right time to know what exactly what to do. As big as JPTES Institute is, how do you think you're able to manage information flow? Everything that we're doing, JPTES cuts across the country. Okay, so information system helps to disseminate information to the right people. There are some informations that are only meant for, let's say, the regional coordinators. MIS ensures that this information meant for just regional coordinators gets to them. There's some information that everybody, both the regional coordinators, the state coordinators, center coordinators, and like that, the marketers and the rest of them. MIS also ensures that everybody within that category gets the information. There are sometimes it's really just the top staff, the advisory board of JPTS. So MIS ensures that this information gets to the right people and at the right time. Okay. It is needed by all business organizations because of increased complexity and rate of change of today's business environment. Just like I said, the business environment is changing on a daily basis. Organization needs to adopt MIS. Okay, and that's one of the characteristics of the MIS is that your MIS must be flexible. Flexibility in the sense that it must be able to adapt to the changes within the business environment. That's number one. Number two, businesses are multiplying, they are growing. Okay, businesses are moving from a simple business to a complex business. Okay, it is becoming wide. JPTS now is all over the federation. Okay, there's plan to even get into other countries and the rest of them. We have our presence in US, in Middle East, like that in Angola and the rest of them. How do you think now the more JPTS expanding, the more it becomes complex. Managing it becomes complex. But with the presence of MIS, it makes it easy, okay, for us to be able to manage that. And of course, like I said, the changing environment, the changing business environment, your MIS should be able to also take care of that. Okay, it serves as a system framework for organizing business computer applications. The MIS basically works with computer systems. Okay, so there must be a framework, okay, for doing this within an organization. And then, of course, yes, that's exactly what we're trying to say. So MIS works very well when there's a computer system where these data are being processed and also being disseminated. So these are some of the the vital concepts as far as management information system is concerned. Like we said, it is basically management information system basically needs computer, okay, to be able to work effectively, because you need a computer to process this information and of course disseminate this information. Now, what are the advantages of management information system? Why do we need it? Okay, what advantages can management information system give to us? Like we said, it helps managers to make plan and control decision. Management information system help us with that, because with management information system, information can get informations about your business. Okay, irrespective of where your business is. Okay, look at the banks. There are some banks that have over 5,000 branches in the whole world. There are some that have over 10,000 branches in the world. In Nigeria alone, likes of UBA, First Bank, they have over 2,000 or 3,000 branches cut across the federation. So how do you think they're able to manage it? Because of MIS. So it helps them to make plans and control decision. And once information is disseminated, every branch gets it. Okay? It helps to facilitate planning. It minimizes information overload, just like we've been explaining. It brings about coordination. Everybody knows what to do at the particular time. It makes control easier. Then management information system assembles, processes, stores, and retrieves data, just as I've been explaining earlier on. So there are other advantages too. It evaluates and disseminates information. It ensures that appropriate data is collected from the various sources, process it, and then send it further to all the needed destinations. That's where the definition of MIS comes from. Okay, so it helps to collect data. With management information system, data can be collected. It can be in form of questionnaire. It can be in form of an interview. Okay, and remember, this can be within internal staff. How can we make this organization better? As they're telling you, use MIS to collect this data. It can be the external stakeholders, which is your customers or clients. How can we serve you guys better? Use it for MIS to collect this data. As soon as you do that, use MIS to process it, and then you solve the problem and then disseminate the information to them. So that's another advantage of management information system. Okay, it helps in strategic planning. Strategic planning, how can we reposition the organization, okay, to be the best among our competition? That's strategic planning. What can we do to make us have an undue advantage over our competitors? You use MIS to do strategic planning. Okay, you use MIS to manage control and operational controls and even transaction processing. There's a lot that MIS does. There's a lot that MIS does as far as improving and meeting the organization's goals and objectives is concerned. So use MIS for strategic planning, for management control, for operational control, and of course transaction processing. Okay. It also helps the clerical personnel in the transaction processing and answers their queries on the data pertaining to the transaction, the status of a particular record, and reference on a variety of documents. The front desk officers with management information system, they can be able to manage customers issues. Okay, have this particular goals. I'm talking about sales and marketing now. Like Jumia, for example, Konga, all these online sales agents. Okay, how do you think they're able to manage everybody's transaction? Is because there's a presence of management information system. So when we talk about management information system, just picture Jumia, Amazon, okay, um, Alibaba, and the rest of them. Okay, that the use of management information has made it possible. So 10,000 persons can make order at the same time. With management information system, all their order, okay, will be processed, and what each client ordered for will be sent to the client without sending somebody else's order to a client. So you see where management information system which actually plays role. So even if there's need as soon as you do your order, somebody answers your call, okay, to confirm your order, and you can also call. There's also a number to call to find out. You can actually track your order, how far it has gone, and the rest of them. So there's a lot that management information system does. So it helps the front desk officers, okay, to analyze transactions, okay, between the customer and of course the organization. All right. So those are the advantages of management information system. The objectives of management information system: number one, to attain the transaction processing of data of an organization effectively. It helps in processing transactions, okay, of an organization, just like I've explained, to make personnel become better trained, which results in the efficiency. So with management information system, personnel can get better, okay, in the work that they do, because the MIS, number one, has made their work easier. So there won't be any situations because we already have a computer system that is working effectively that can help you do your job. So the days of analog, you know, analog working, as the use of analog has gone. Now everybody has gone digital. So the days of paper and pen has gone. So with MIS, with computer system, can actually do everything, and that improves the efficiency of the personnel. So why? Because there's a management information system put in place in that organization. Okay, management information system is also used in making forecasting and long-term prospective planning more effective. Okay, just like we said, MIS is used to collect information, data about your business, especially from your clients. It can also be within. So with that, you'll be able to analyze and be able to project where the company is going to be in the nearest future. Are we headed to a shipwreck, or we're actually flying? Okay. So with management information system, it helps to make decision as far as the future is concerned, because with that you can actually project what's going to happen in the nearest future. Look at the meteorologist. How do you think they're able to tell us the weather condition for the next 24 hours for tomorrow? Okay, every minute they're telling us, okay, tomorrow's weather forecast, this and this and that and that. It is the use of management information system that has helped, that aids them in doing that. Okay, so it helps them in making forecasting and long-term prospective planning of the organization. It tries to create a structured database, a knowledge base for all the people in the organization. Okay, everybody working within that organization must understand what MIS is and how it works. Why? Because there's a structure in place, there's a training in place for all personnel to actually understand. So those are some of the advantages of management information system. There are other advantages of management information system, okay, that we have. We'll just look at all those few because of the time that we have, so that we can proceed. Now, what are the characteristics of management information system? The characteristics of management information system. Number one is management information system and top management. That's the first characteristic. Of course, the top management, like we said, is responsible for setting up this MIS, okay, for every other person within the organization to actually follow. So it is being coordinated comprehensively, okay, from the top. Okay, and then from the top it flows, okay, to the subordinates, to every other aspect of the business. Okay, so management information system is a comprehensive and coordinated set of information subsystems which are rationally integrated and which transforms data information in a variety of ways, which ensures that productivity conforms to the objective set down by the organization. So it starts from the top and then it flows down. Number two, management oriented. Management information system is actually management oriented. How? Just like I said, it is designed from the top, okay, to the bottom. They are the ones that decide. The top management are the ones who decides what happens because they understand the objective or the goals of the organization more than the rest of the employees of the organization. So they make a decision at that top level, they sit down, they strategize, they analyze, and then once they are done, they disseminate this information. Okay, so it's management oriented in the sense that it's at the top that these things are being done and then they're not being disseminated. Of course, management directed for a proper implementation of those informations are being disseminated. Management still needs to direct so there won't be a misplaced priority. Okay, when these informations decisions have been made at the top, which we said is the management oriented, and these informations are being distributed or disseminated, they still needs to direct so that the employees there won't be a misplaced priority, just like I said. Who needs the information? At what time do they need the information? So that's why management needs to direct it to ensure that flow of information, okay, is effective. It gets to the right channel at the right time. So management needs to direct this information that flows from the MIS. Okay, the fourth one is integration. MIS, one of the characteristics, or one of the strong characteristics of MIS is that it integrates, it brings together, it unifies every aspect of the business, every aspect of the organization. So with MIS, it's together. So it's like MIS is just at the center of the organization, and then it branches out to different aspects of the organization: marketing, sales, production, human resources, communication, like that, like that, like that. So you see, MIS, takes care, integrates all of them to work as one. So it unifies all of them to work as one. So that's one of the characteristics of MIS. Every aspect of the business, it brings them together so that they can all work together. Okay, in a simple organizational setting. Okay, you have the structure, you have the workforce, you have the time, you have production, you have capital, you have your customer service. MIS helps to unify all of this together so that the objective of the organizations can be achieved or attained. So MIS integrates every aspect of the business by bringing them together to work effectively. Okay, and that characterizes common data flow, just like we said, it flows from the top to the bottom. Everybody gets this information. Heavy planning elements is another characteristic of MIS. MIS, management information system, is not something that is set up in a day or 2 days or 1 week. Sometimes you'll be surprised that it takes close to 5 years, okay, for this MIS, okay, to be completely set up. Sometimes it takes more than that. So heavy planning is required, okay, as far as MIS is concerned, because just like we said, at the end of the day, a decision needs to be made. If proper planning or effective planning is not done, it can lead to the crash of the organization. And that's why you need to take your time, okay, to plan and then disseminate information that will work effectively within the organization. So it requires a whole lot of time for planning because a lot of things are being considered. You're considering from the management perspective, your employees' perspective, your resources perspective, your stakeholders perspective, which is your customers perspective, okay, production perspective, marketing perspective. A lot of things are being covered, and it's not something you need to rush. You need to really take your time to be able to cover all aspects of the business, so that at the end of the day, when decision is being made regarding a particular way the organization wants to be something that will be effective, that will create or that will move the organization to the next level. Okay, so it requires heavy planning. Okay, and everybody who is involved in MIS must also understand this. So those are the characteristics of management information system. Okay, flexibility, like I talked about, your MIS must be flexible. It must be flexible, meaning your MIS must adapt to the changing environment, to the changes in the business. Okay, just like I've explained earlier on, it must be flexible. Okay, so those are some of the characteristics of a management information system. Others are database. Like I said, there must be a source where these informations are being disseminated, like a network. Okay, there's a server. Okay, where informations are being disseminated from. We must have a database where we can use to store this raw information. Database where we can store the processed information, and then the database where we can store information that are ready to be disseminated. So database must be available and must be present to be able to do this. And of course, this information must be distributed. This data that has been processed must be distributed through management information system. Okay, so those are some of the characteristics of management information system. Now understand something. For management information system to work within an organization, just like we said, planning, effective planning must be involved. Just like I said, the top management usually or basically are the ones who sit down and make and sit down to analyze, to plan what they want the organization to achieve, what they want, what they expect from the employees. Okay, so strategic planning starts from the top. So the first step to having an effective management information system within an organization is to take your time to plan. Okay, so you must take your time to plan. For example, now the strategic plan activities must flow from the top management, and it must involve future interactions between the organization and its external environment. Okay, so you must take your time to plan your management information system to cover every aspect of the business. Just like I've explained, from informations that flow within the organization and also informations that flow outside the organization. Okay, when you're doing your planning, you must also involve the stakeholders, which is the external environment. Understand something. Whatever you're doing, okay, as an organization, your output, after you've transformed your inputs, okay, what are the inputs now? We're talking about the raw materials, we're talking about um, the capital, which is the money that has been invested in. We're talking about the human resources, the staff that will be involved in the transformation process. Now, these are the things we're talking about: the equipment and the tools and the facilities. All these things are what is used, okay, during the transformational process. Now, when all these things are being put together now to produce the output, you're not producing it for the organization. There's usually a target audience, there's usually a target market. Whether you're into production or you're rendering service, it is for a particular environment or a particular customer. So when you're planning, when you're in management information system, just like we said, planning is very, very essential. And once you're doing that planning, you must involve not just the internal environment, the external environment, your stakeholders. That's why sometimes you see organizations they organize AGO, annual general meeting, AGM, and then they invite all their stakeholders. Okay, they get to tell them this is what we've been able to achieve in this fiscal year, and then this is what we're projecting. Now, if there's any input from the stakeholders, okay, they get to add their view. Most of the products you see customer feedback. They give you a number to call or an email address to send your inquiries or your problems. okay, as far as the product is concerned. How has the product benefited you? Like Jumia, for example, all these online stores. Once you order for a product and your product is being delivered, they would like to get your feedback, okay, of how they, if they were able to satisfy you, okay. So there's a database where these informations are being carried out, are being retrieved. So you must involve the external environment. So by the time they're now sending the inquiries, their reservations about the product and the rest of them, that can help the organization in planning because of those informations they've collected from the external environment, plus the one they get from the internal people who are involved. Okay, all these things will now are what the top management will now bring together, analyze them one after the other, and see how they can make improvements as far as the company's dealings are concerned. And that's one of the ways that organizations can also move further. So manual information system requires effective planning, and this effective planning must be coordinated from the top level management, and both the internal environment and the external environment must be involved, okay, in this planning. All right, so I think we're going to stop here for today, and I hope we've been able to grasp everything that we've talked about today. Hopefully, from next week, we'll still continue in that planning with a quick summary of what we've been able to achieve today. Um, we started from defining what MIS is, okay, if an information system that helps to gather informations, process these informations, and then disseminate informations to the right people at the right time in order to achieve the goals and objective of the organization. Okay, that's how we defined it. Then we looked at how MIS has evolved from the first generation to the fifth generation. Okay, and then we looked at the advantages of MIS. What are the advantages of MIS? And then what are the characteristics of MIS? Those are the things we've been able to achieve today. So on your own, you can actually also do further readings on these things that we talked about. And then we'll come next week. We'll continue from where we stopped. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see us next week. Bye for now.